Either way, no one turns up. He sets the paddle back and wanders towards the harbour master's shed. The door is locked and the lights are off. How many times has he waited here, in every sort of weather? He even recalls that once or twice, having missed the last ferry, he and Johnny had crawled beneath the hull of a beached fishing boat for shelter, trying to sleep out the night so that they could catch the first run of the morning and arrive back just in time for the early shift. Oh, Johnny, how I have missed you all these years. The 4 metal masts, those old familiar friends, are barely visible today through the sea mist, but he knows they are there on the other side. There, too, part hidden behind the pine trees bordering the opposite shore, are the red brick turrets of the manor house itself, that magical, dreamlike place, more fairy castle than RAF base, whose secrets were known to only a few. Even now, nearly 30 years later, he feels a flicker of pride. On the other side of the river, he can just make out rusting signs. Ministry of Defence property, strictly private, no entry. So they must still be using the place, although he wonders what on earth for when the greatest threat these days is a bomb that could wipe out a whole country, even the whole world. However hard he peers through the darkening gloom, he can see no lights in the windows. Drawn by the sound of the waves crashing on the shore behind him, he turns and struggles across the shingle to the sea. How he has missed this sound, the rhythm of the pounding breakers followed by the shushing of the shingle, with the withdrawing wave, repeating itself along the length of the beach. Ba-boom. Shh. Shh. Ba-boom. No wonder composers like to write about the sea, he thinks to himself, for the rhythms are already prescribed. Behold the sea itself, he hums, almost happy despite the wet, the cold, and his overarching despair. Dusky and undulating, and on its limitless, heaving breast, the ships. At the water's edge, he stops, shielding his eyes against the salt spray and scanning the 180-degree expanse for any sign of ships, a tanker, a fishing boat, or even a hardy pleasure sailor. But there is not a single vessel in sight. The seascape is empty, melting without pause for any horizon into the grey-blue sky. He shivers again. He is getting colder and wetter by the moment. There will be no warm welcome at the manor tonight. That morning, back at home in London, so long ago it seems almost like another life, Vikram Mackenzie walked into the newsagent's and exchanged a few words with Bilal, the shop owner, just as he'd done for the past 20 years. He likes Bilal, although neither of them would ever mention it, both considering themselves to be through and through Englishmen. They have a common heritage. The old country has since been bloodily sliced in two, but they still recognise small signs of a shared culture. Bilal has even been seen to offer a brief and self-conscious namaste from time to time. Bilal is increasingly concerned for Mr. Mac, as he refers to him with due deference, since he became a widower. He'd always been so well turned out, clean-shaven and unbowed, with that enviably full head of white hair neatly barbered. But lately he seems to have stopped bothering about his appearance. In the past, he could be relied upon to wear a jacket and tie, even in the hottest of weather. But for the second day in a row, Bilal notices now the old boy has pulled on trousers and an ancient parka over his pyjamas and thrown his feet into a pair of broken-down moccasins for the short journey down the street. Of course, it is well known that Mr. Mac is a brilliant scientist who did some very important and highly secret work during the war. He'd always had that slightly distracted air of someone whose mind is on higher matters. But these days he is becoming plain eccentric, Bilal opines to his wife. That hair...